Us live. Nice.
What is up, everybody? Episode 4 of the Sports Hour Plus with Miller and Watson. But today, as you can see, there are 3 little boxes, not 2. We have a special guest, Matt Rogers. Welcome, Matt. We're so
No,
excited to have you.
absolutely. Thank you for having me. It's been a great talking with Kylan, and I've watched a couple of y'all's episodes. I'm very excited that he started doing his own thing. It's great that you guys work together. So thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. We have had some fun, and apologies to everyone if you thought we were coming on yesterday as we were supposed to. I have had the flu for the last week, so this is. I was going to try and do a flu game. Obviously, I'm not MJ, so I couldn't. I couldn't power through. So today I'm here with an extra day of rest and an espresso coffee, feeling much better. So honestly, I think that we should just jump right into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
one of the craziest stories, crazy, I guess, is a relative term because it seems we have one of these once a season. But the NBA has suspended Draymond Green indefinitely for just full on punching. I mean, I
Yeah.
mean, the video
Absolutely.
is absurd. It is. I watched it like 4 times on repeat after it happened, and at first I was like, did he mean to do that? And then I was like,
Oh,
well, it's Draymond
absolutely.
Green, so of course he meant to do that. And it's so ridiculous when he gets upset for getting kicked out. It's like, what did you think was going to happen? You hardcore punched a dude in the face.
And
So
did you guys see the screen grab?
yeah, I mean
Where
it's
the
wild.
bench where the bench, you could look at the bench next to him, and it's like everybody else is just over it. They're like, Draymond, I can't believe you just punched this dude.
No, and that it's like at what point does a grown man like can you just not control your emotions? So I think the biggest question is this, like, is there still room for Draymond in the NBA? Like, is this he's a good player, a great player, obviously, but with all the other issues, is it worth it to have him on your team? Is he able to keep his emotions in check? Is that ever going to be something that Draymond can do, Matt?
I think he'll get one more shot, and maybe he can get a tech for yelling at a ref or playing defense a little rough. But one of these, he's done. This is the last time he gets grace on one of these. He will be out of the league, in my opinion.
How long do you think indefinitely is going to be? I know they said there's some stuff that he has to do. I don't know if he's like an anger management class or something. I don't know, but something like that. I mean,
He needs to be back in March. He needs to really take a
take the
break.
holidays off.
Yeah, man. Take
Lots of stuff.
MLK, Black History Month. I'll do all that. Take some time, man.
Yeah.
Heal.
Kylan,
Who
what about
hurt
you?
you?
Yeah, I mean, for real.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I said early on the podcast that Matt and I did earlier, like, this is a monster of the Warriors' own creation. It's kind of like, sorry to the English majors, I'm probably going to butcher it, but it's like a Frankenstein's monster, right? Like, the Warriors are Dr. Frankenstein. This is the monster that they created, like, this could have all been nipped in the butt last year, about this time, or no, it was over the summer. When he sucker punched or two-pieced in a biscuit did Jordan Poole, he and like, if anybody could empathize with that, it would be his coach Steve Kerr, who famously got also two-pieced in a biscuit by Michael Jordan, but we all saw that video, right? Or some of it. Thank you, TMZ. for always showing us things we shouldn't see.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you for that practice facility footage where he's on the ground, everybody else is just shooting around. Draymond's yelling at a clearly unconscious man, and it's just like, yeah, you shouldn't have did this. And like, I'm like, so y'all reward for him was a ring and a new contract, and now y'all like, oh, think about Draymond. And I'm like, think about Draymond. Y'all should have thought about that last year. If you really think about it, like the Warriors dynasty, kind of died last year because, like, as Matt and I know, being Eagles fans, when you start having dysfunction on your team, whether you got championships or not, that's the beginning of the end, man. Eagles fans went through this with Terrell Owens, where he was up there doing push-ups in his driveway in New
You
Jersey.
think the Warriors dynasty? You say is I'm not shut. I don't think the door is completely shut yet.
Well,
Do you think this helps?
window,
Honestly, do you
Yeah,
think this
I'll-
helps having him out and not the craziness kind of not around?
yeah. I mean, a la Joe Burrow. I mean, the window is Steph Curry's whole career. So, I mean, as long as you got Steph Curry, you got a window to win another championship. But even Steph Curry can't overcome this dysfunction that,
No,
you know,
can't.
Draymond done started. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
they don't play their young players. That ain't Draymond's fault. But it's his fault that there's so much awkwardness around the
Yes.
building. So, yeah, we don't need to see him till probably April, you know,
Yeah.
maybe June, you know. I
So-
mean, yeah, he'll get another chance.
Yeah, no,
but-
I think he will. I think he needs, you know, there's this the TikTok where they say like you know, what's this something has happened to me how many times twice, so I'd have 2 nickels, but the fact that I have 2 is crazy. You could say like when you have to say which time that he punched somebody in the face. Like the fact that it happened more than once is crazy.
Right.
I mean, but I guess there's, you know, the NBA has issues with that all over the place.
Well, I mean, if you run through the timeline, right? Chokehold, a few years ago, chokehold, Rudy Gobert. That might have been
a few weeks ago. You mean a few weeks ago? The chokehold over Rudy Gobert.
ESPN had an awesome graphic yesterday on PTI, and it was like all of his indiscretions. It was hysterical. We were at had gone out to get our Christmas tree, and we stopped to grab dinner. And me and my fiance were dying laughing. We were like,
maybe Draymond needs to go to WWE and go make the bag.
Right? Like,
you can go right down the street, man, like kicking people in the nuts, stepping on people's chests. Like, it's just,
crazy.
It's a whole thing with Draymond, man.
All right.
Bag.
Quick response for this one. Do the Warriors blow it up or suck it up for one more run? Kylan?
Blow it up, man. It's time. It's time. I can't like, and I know I got some Warriors fans in my life that hate hearing me say that, but it's time, man. Like, it's just Steph Curry. Klay Thompson is probably not going to be there next year, and then you don't have Klay, and you just have Steph and Draymond. With Chris Paul, time to blow it up, man.
So blow it up means getting rid of everybody but Steph. Then yes, yes, blow it
I
up.
think you have a solid. I mean, solid is an insane word to use for Steph Curry. You have a generational talent on your team. Keep him. I agree. Throw the rest away and see what you can do. All right. So speaking of some kind of craziness, so me and Matt's hometown is getting a new stadium.
Potentially.
So
yeah.
I got a text from my dad. So my brother works for the Capitals, and he says Adam's going to be working. This is kind of before I'd seen anything. He was like, Adam's going to be working in Alexandria in a few years, and I was like, why? What do you mean? And he like sent me the link. And so for those of you that don't know, currently the Washington Wizards and Capitals play in. Is it Capital One Center still down in
Capital
DC?
One Arena? Yes.
Capital One Arena. Okay, it was MCI Center when I was younger.
It was
the Verizon Center.
I was about to say it was the Verizon Center when I was there. So
if you don't know, the area that the stadium is in, or the arena is in, it's been there forever. It's not like a terrible area. It's not the best area. There's not really a ton around it. There's 1 or 2 restaurants. Kind of got to go a little bit far. There's not a ton of parking. It's fine. Like, it's kind of a classic. It's been there. It is in the middle of the city, which is a plus. But the area that they want to move it to in Alexandria is awesome. I love it down there. So again, hand up, I also live in Connecticut. So I don't live down in DC anymore. But I like the idea of putting it in somewhere like Alexandria. I think Alexandria, it's on the water. You have restaurants, you have hotels. You can make something out of it. You can kind of make a culture around it, which I think DC has been missing in all of its sports for so long. I mean, you have the Commanders out in
Landover, Maryland. Like, with the worst parking situation.
It's horrible. And I know a lot of people are trying to bring that back to where RFK was, which great location. Honestly, that was fun. I liked it when it was there. Obviously,
other places.
Or other places, like wherever. I know there was one looking at like Dumfries, Virginia, which I don't really think that's a great idea, but some other places. But the idea of kind of gritting a culture and making a little town out of it. And if they brought this where they want to bring the stadium down to in Alexandria, it gives it kind of that same feel as where Nats Park is. And I think that's fun. But Matt, what is your opinion on this?
Well, I have to be careful on what I say here, because this is close to my real actual job, because I live in Loudoun County, Virginia. But I think, since you know, I'm not going to evade the answer too much, but I'll say I think to what your point is the idea is a lot cooler when you're talking about something that's not just like some stadium sitting somewhere, and it's only used a few times a year. You're talking about restaurants and things like that. That's a cool idea is what I'll say there.
Fair. And I think that a lot of the stuff that they want to do, regardless of where they put it, is they want to bring the community in more than they do now. And I think that they said they wanted to do like, there was like a woman, something with women and skating and getting them back on the court. And then there was practice facilities and all this stuff. And I think that the idea of having that kind of all in one area is cool, regardless of where that is. Even if I know a lot of people were like, well, what if they put it in Baltimore? What if they put it? And there's a whole bunch of other places that people were throwing out. And I think the major thing is, putting a stadium like that anywhere is going to just boost the revenue of whatever town that's in. And I know Virginia would love for it to come to Alexandria. I mean, I think the biggest case of that is Nats Park. Like, I don't know how often
you
went to Nats Park when it first opened. It was terrifying. Like, that was not a good, good area.
Yeah. That was that's down by the Capitol. It's like you can see the Capitol right down the street.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now they've created it into this really cool
little town. It's like a mini town.
It's cool. Restaurants, bars.
That's the right way to do it.
And I think that makes it more fun. It's
absolutely. I totally agree with what you've said so far.
And I don't want to get you in trouble, so
I'll just say that.
Colin, what do you think? I know you're obviously from Philly, and Philadelphia has your heart, but what do you think about this idea?
So I think, I'm of the mindset that I think it's a semi good thing, but I think when I look at it, I just don't think, especially in the wake of the Oakland news or what's going on with the Athletics moving to Vegas and everything, I just don't know if I like a place in a big city, like moving to a suburban area. Not that that's
DC's not a big city. Have you been to DC? That thing is like
it is close.
I've been to DC. I lived in DC for 2 years, so yeah. So I know DC is not it's not Philadelphia, right? It's not San Fran. It's not New York City.
Spaces. There's not space to do all that kind of stuff.
So there's not space, and I totally understand that. But they do, as somebody who's been in that arena for a lot of Georgetown games. It is a okay place, Now, would I? It's not Philly. Obviously, it doesn't have and even where
it's not Philly. It's not Philly.
No. There's not much there either, but Xfinity Live. So it's not like I'm talking about much either. It's not like I'm coming from the land of plenty when it comes for things to do after you leave the game either. But it's where it is central enough, right? It's got buses and stuff, and obviously they'll build that up. So I think it's a okay idea. I'm a little worried about the effects it'll have on downtown DC. I guess they'll have to lean more into the Georgetown games, just make it the Georgetown basketball stadium.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. Have they announced that? Is Georgetown still going to play there, or are they going to do something on their own?
I mean, they don't have. No,
I know they don't. So I just didn't know what was going to happen to the arena. Is it still going to be used for? I wonder, is it still be used for the Mystics play there, don't they?
Yep. Yeah, he owns that too, so they'll probably end up playing over there too.
We'll see. All right. Well, we have talked about this, so we're actually going to move. I think we're going to move right to Bill, because this I feel like is a juicy topic. So without saying it, but without really saying it, Kraft has kind of said, I guess, to the NBC Boston that Bill's gone after this year. And then Bill was asked about it, and he was like, I'm just focused on, I don't know who they playing, the Chiefs.
He's gone.
No,
they're not going to fire him.
He's focused on the game.
No, he's gone.
I focused on the game, I think is what he said. So we've talked about this a few times on there. Before this even came out, I was like, he's definitely gone. He's gone. But I think, I would be shocked if they actually did fire him. I'm assuming it's going to be a closed door thing that's like, we're not keeping you.
Right.
So, and if Bill wants to be a hard-headed person, we'll put it that way, maybe he does make them fire him. I could see that happening too, but I think he's just going to leave. So
amicably.
It's definitely going to be one of those. He'll put out a statement to the Players Tribune or the Schefter and be like, I'm mutually agreeing to leave my post.
Exactly.
Like all the old school coaches do.
Yes.
So where is he going?
And he deserves that.
Yeah. Of course he does. He's done unbelievable things for that town. That
if he gets fired, then no coach is safe. Yeah. Like,
for real.
Honestly, I think he's gonna go to. I think he's one of the two contenders for this Chargers job, man. Because I mean, that's perfect for him, right? You got Justin Herbert, a malleable quarterback.
And he wants to go to LA, right? That was like his thing. He wanted to go to California or something.
Yeah, something like that.
I read that somewhere.
Yeah, he's going to continue to keep coaching until he gets the record, whatever the record is for coaching wins. So it's either there or Carolina. I mean, if you think he can do something with the athleticism of Bryce Young, maybe. But like, I think it'll be him. It'll come down to him and Harbaugh at LA, and they'll have their choice, or he might go to Carolina just to have his Tom Brady moment, because it seems like all of Boston's old athletes go to Florida and somehow win a championship. So
we talked about the Commanders earlier. Why would he not go to the Commanders? Because is Ron Rivera safe? Ron Rivera's probably out.
No. Ron Rivera might.
Let Morgan do her Ron Rivera impersonation.
No, I'm a Giants fan, but all my family, and I said, this is Ron Rivera. All game with the headset on, he just sits
there. That's all he does.
He doesn't do anything. He doesn't coach.
Well,
the enemy's coaching the team.
I haven't been there, so he must be doing some coaching. But yes, I agree. He just doesn't look like he's interacting with anybody.
No, he's not. Regardless of what he does during the week, he's not talk. I've never once seen him talk on a broadcast. He just sits there. I'm like,
he can definitely go to the Commanders, because we don't know Josh Harris, like for real, but I mean,
he'll give him the bag.
So, but yeah, he wants that big splash, and what's a bigger splash than, getting rid of the cancer?
Start with the GOAT.
Coach. Yeah, yes. and bringing in the GOAT. I'm sure a lot of Sixers fans will love that, right?
All right,
that would scare all of the rest of the NFC East fans, though.
Yeah, it would.
I would not like it. So speaking of NFC East,
the
NFC Beast, the newest, just the greatest team that's ever existed, the most fun Giants team I can ever remember. That's a fact. The most fun Giants team that's been in a while is this new Italian mob version of the Giants. So Matt, I'm a huge Giants fan. Obviously,
I can tell.
Most of my life down in DC, so it's been very fun for me to come up here and actually be around Giants fans. But I have never had as much fun watching a game as I did on Monday. Starting out with
Packers.
Starting out with Tommy DeVito and his agent. Bizarre. Like unbelievable.
Super bizarre.
Unbelievable. And then him kissing his dad in the stadium, and like it was just pure fun. And then Saquon fumbling, almost losing the game. Somehow we string together a 2-minute drill and come back and do a field goal. Like, what is happening with the Giants right now? And you can tell they're having fun. So right now, I'm like, we have either a backup or we have two quarterbacks. We got Danny Dimes. We got Tommy. We don't need a quarterback for right now. We need some offensive linemen. But no, let's
Yeah.
keep winning. Like, let's have some fun.
Marvin Harrison.
Get
Get rid of
sweepstakes over
Danny
here.
Dimes.
What?
Go eat the money. Get rid of Danny Dimes. As an Eagles fan, I want y'all to keep Danny Dimes. Keep paying him that 40 mil, 40,
Yeah,
50.
yeah.
Go give him a raise. Keep Danny Dimes. But as a football fan, if I'm a Giants, executive, I'm eating whatever money. I would have never given him the contract in the first place. You see, you're identifying. You're talking about Tommy Cutlets. I don't know why he's Tommy Cutlets. What's the whatever? But he's playing just fine. And if you can, that Giants offensive line has been bad for like a generation. I mean,
Yeah.
they've been bad for a few years, and they haven't given Saquon, who was talk about generational talent.
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley hasn't even had a chance to ever bloom.
No.
We may have seen the best of Saquon, and he never really even got a chance to be who he could be. It's frustrating
It
from
is.
a football fan's perspective.
He can
It's
come
hard.
home, though. He can come back to Philly and revitalize the Eagles.
No,
right?
Oh, I
He's-
would love
he's
it. I
from-
would love it.
He's a Giants fan when he was a child. Actually, I think he was a Jets fan.
I'll give
but-
him my salary next
Um,
year. Saquon, come on, man, just a little extra.
It's only a 1-year deal, boy. You can't keep him. You
I
can't
know.
keep
I
It's
know.
only a
We're
1-year
keeping it
deal.
forever.
You
All
can't-
right. So there really isn't that much more to talk about. Like, are the Giants going to beat the Eagles? Probably not. But they're
Who they
fun.
had this week?
They have. Well, they played on Monday, and then so great. Honestly, this is so bad. I don't even know who they have. Let me check.
Let's see. Consult the Google. Let's
Yeah,
see.
because
Stand by.
we got the
They have-
Rams.
They have the Rams. Yeah.
Oh, that's a
I
tough
mean-
game.
No. Y'all play the Saints. The Rams is New Year's Eve.
Oh, yes. The Saints. I mean, we can win that.
Yeah,
you
you
can
can win that.
We can win that. All right. So more on some crazy stuff. We kind of alluded to this when we were talking about Bill Belichick, but Staley's gone. Axed fired after one of the most bizarre Thursday night games I have seen in a
Mhm.
while. Scorigami, 63-21.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
What
Crazy.
what are our thoughts watching this game before we get into Staley getting fired? But pre that,
Nah.
I mean, the Raiders just
They
Yeah.
gave up.
yeah.
The Chargers gave up.
I think
Yeah, the
that's a
Raiders-
really how
Yeah.
early. When do you think they gave up? Do you think it was after the third touchdown? To me, was when it
They
looked
gave
like
up before they came out of the
After
tunnel.
the first
Well, that's-
kickoff.
You get
Yeah.
kicked like that.
During-
You
during
didn't even
the
come out of the
pregame-
tunnel ready.
During the pregame speech, they gave like yo. I want y'all to picture if you didn't see this game because I didn't watch until like the end of the second quarter because I was out doing other things. But it is a couple weeks before Christmas, so people got things to do,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
just picture like your best game of Madden, and this game was better than that, man. Like you're playing Madden on, all Madden or
Yeah.
maybe rookie. For those of you that are just beginning, I don't want to be disrespectful to nobody,
Right.
but your best game of Madden, right?
yeah.
The
Mhm.
game you beat your rival and you beat them bad. This is exactly
Right.
what happened to
Yes.
the Chargers last night. Like they went in there.
They were both with their backup quarterbacks, by
Yeah.
the way.
Yeah.
Both teams were playing with their backups.
They went in
Oh.
there. They got raided right on out of
63?
there to 21.
63?
Like that game was so good. Like there were so many things that will never happen for the
No.
Raiders again.
It
Like,
was
one-handed
the
six.
Raiders.
No
The
one is
Raiders
gonna
found a
have
way to score.
one-handed mossing on a screen pass. I have never seen that in my life. Not
No.
even in Madden or NCAA football. No one's gonna have that. There's no quarterback that's going to do a spin move into a sack that winds up somebody scoring like a 30-yard touchdown from it. Like Al Michaels was so bored watching that game.
Don't take my. He's not him.
He
Don't
could
take
have
it.
tagged somebody else. Like he could have tagged it. It should have just been a tag team match up there in the booth. He should have just been like, "Here, Michael Smith, come on in here and do some
Yeah.
commentary." I'm
I was listening to a
3-21
podcast
game,
today.
bro.
I was listening to a podcast today, and they were saying that they should have let it got so bad that they should have let Al just be like, and the backup announcer is coming in, so I can
Oh
rest
my
my
God.
voice.
Al
Is that
Michaels
what happens?
was
Is
so
that
bored.
the mercy rule? Is
Yeah.
it like to bad announcers so people turn the game off?
Yeah,
So,
it
you know,
was
so you get
the-
cooked so bad.
Bro,
The Raiders
everyone-
found ways to score in every way. They had a big man score. They had that crazy pick six. They
One
scored
hand.
from the one. They scored from the the 50. Like they really found ways to score in every single way.
Bro, you know how fast that pick six was? That pick six was so fast. They didn't even have a time to turn the camera to it. Like
no, it was crazy.
He ran into that touchdown so fast. It was like watching the Flash. Like it was like they were all like they were in the middle of a conversation. It's like Al Michaels like it's picked off touchdown, and y'all like wait a minute. That's how fast that was, bro. Like
Richard Sherman said it right. They should have they probably damn near fired him at halftime.
What's interesting? So we're going to talk about Staley now, but I listened to his post game presser last night.
For work or fun?
For work, not fun. And they asked Staley, does he think that he deserves to still be the coach of this team? And he said yes. And then they said, well, then what happened tonight? And he said, I wasn't good enough. I just wasn't good enough. And then the guy asked again, so can you tell me why the Chargers should keep you if you just said you weren't good enough to win this game? And he got really angry, kind of like the press conference when he was like, I'm calling the defensive plays, blah, 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 blah. I got really mad about that. He was like, every game, every coach that's ever coached the NFL has had games like this.
I mean, they have, but no one's lost by 63 points after the previous week. Then that team that beat you by
didn't score.
Didn't score. Like they
beat them by 40,
3-0. All the Raiders fans were depressed. Like they won that game. They were depressed, bro. Like I've never seen more depressed Raiders fans. This game happened, and now they're pumping their chest out again. Like
I think that's a difference. Is that like he's saying that every coach has these games? Yes, that's true. That is fair. Brian Daboll, first game of the season. Like what happened? But most of these coaches aren't having these after season of disappointing losses, and you go into this game knowing that your job is on the line. You have to prepare better than that. That's
why I'm saying they didn't come out of the tunnel ready. Those guys wanted him fired.
Yeah, they did. There was something.
I don't know that, right? I do have some sources, but I don't have Chargers. I don't have the source on this. I'm speculating. This is pure speculation.
But
I think those guys wanted him out of the door.
It felt like they came out so flat-footed that they just purely didn't care.
Bro, they lost by Jackie Robinson's number, bro. 42 points. Yeah. Like, you lose by 42 points. Like, they definitely wanted somebody fired. All
right, so this game, he's gone. I think we all knew it was going to happen eventually. Are there any other, like, big predictions that you think are going to happen this weekend? So, like, what games are you looking forward to? What do you guys think?
Let me look at my notes. Let's see. That Baltimore-Jacksonville game is a big one. I think
it's a huge game. It's a huge game.
That'll be a good one. I expect the Ravens to win that game. The big one I'm looking at is Dallas Bills, just because I want to see. I won't be a hater because, I'm going to put the journalist hat on and not the fan hat. But I totally expect the Bills to whoop on the Cowboys because
they're fighting for their lives.
Yeah, the Cowboys are like the ultimate like home and away team. It's December. We all know what happens to the Cowboys in December. The wheels fall off. You can set your watch by it so much. Stephen A. Smith had a top 5 song about it. An accident waiting to happen. That was built in December. So it's different this year. Obviously, Dak Prescott is looking like an MVP candidate. I can't hate on it, but I just think he's going to come across. I mean, this isn't even on what we're supposed to talk about today, but let me just say this. Like, Cam Newton isn't right about Dak Prescott. If I was Cam Newton, what I would have said was Dak Prescott isn't a game manager, but he's not like that foundational cheat code piece like Josh Allen.
That's correct. I think what he said about him was unfair. And I'm an Eagles fan, but I don't think what he said about Dak was fair.
I mean, like
other people.
Yeah. I think
other people.
What he said about those other 2 quarterbacks, that's correct. But about Dak, what he kind of meant is kind of like what goes on with Brock Purdy. Like, Dak is held up by the fact that he has CeeDee Lamb, right? And CeeDee Lamb makes every catch known to man.
Yeah.
Dak is playing well this year.
Yeah.
He doesn't
Yeah,
even
he
have
is. He
his
is playing
pieces
well.
aren't even that great, other than CD. I'm not really respecting Gallup and Brandon Cooks like that. I don't think
What's
that
left?
they're
What's
like
left
that
of
great.
Brandon Cooks after Malcolm Jenkins cleaned his clock at the Super Bowl, right? So, like, you know, it's
We've talked about this before, where it's Josh Allen is that entire team. If Josh
Right.
Allen
Mhm.
is not there, they do not win a game.
Right.
Whereas,
right.
like, they're possibly you could put a good
Kirk
backup
Cousins.
in
Kirk
Kirk
Cousins
Cousins in Dallas, and they'll win a few games.
They would be just as good.
They probably
Right.
would be just as good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So I think that that's a difference, and I think that I'm a big Josh Allen fan. I get
Right.
upset when people,
They would be the Super Bowl champs.
You
I'd be like, damn, this is the year for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
If the Cowboys had Josh Allen.
yeah. If Cowboys had Josh Allen, if a lot of teams had Josh Allen, they would be
right. And I'm
and
I would say the same thing about the 49ers, right? The 49ers had Tua Tagovailoa. They'd probably be in the same place right now. Like, that it is like, it's no disrespect to Brock Purdy.
Tommy DeVito, they'd probably be in the same spot. Like,
Danny DeVito. No, you're right. Like,
No, I don't want to diss Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy's definitely better than Tommy DeVito.
He is better than Tommy DeVito.
he's better than Tommy DeVito, but like that is like, that's the game I'm looking for. Cowboys Bills, the Miami game too, like Miami Jets.
Yep.
Like, are the Dolphins going to stay ahead of the surging Bills? Are they going to choke again? Will his job be on the line? Like, it seems like Stanley won't be the only rookie head coach who might be out of a job. Can you imagine if the Dolphins don't make the playoffs this year?
And if they cowboy up the thing, check me out here. So if they cowboy up one of these next couple of games, you got the Dolphins, you got the Bills, and then that last game is against the Commanders. I think it's in DC.
Right.
That's the kind of game I could very much see the Cowboys cowboying in week 18.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
look,
they do.
We all
That's the NFC East. I mean, it's just like we lose to bad teams within the division on really important days.
Right.
Yes.
We all expect. So let me just say this. This isn't biased on our part. Everybody, unless they're a Cowboys insider, everybody expects the Cowboys to lose one of these next two games. They're going to lose one of them. If they lose both of them, for Eagles fans, that's great. But all they got to do is lose one game, and it's over for them. So, like, it's a crapshoot of which one of these games are they going to lose. So if you're an Eagles fan, watch one of these games because they're definitely going to lose one of them because they're all.
And I'll remind the listeners, because maybe people don't get to watch as much. Everybody doesn't have as much free time to watch the games. I will remind everybody that the Eagles beat the Dolphins and the Bills, and then beat a couple of other really good teams, including last year's Super Bowl champions, all in one stretch.
Yeah.
So they got a little mini stretch of what the Eagles have been dealing with for about 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So the last game I want to talk about is before we have one of our favorite segments, and then we got to go. But the Lions Broncos game. I'm intrigued by this game. Do we think that did the Lions like just lose it? Was that just like a one game thing where they're looking bad? Are they going to come back? Is the Broncos the same thing? Are they going to come back and do the Sean Payton wow factor? Like, where are we with these two teams?
Bro, I mean, this is the post-pregnancy, like post-baby Wilson bump that happens every time Sierra drops a child. Like, if you notice, I don't have any stats on this, but what I've noticed is every time Sierra has a child, Russell Wilson's play goes up exponentially. Like, y'all haven't noticed this? Like, if you look at it,
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know she just had a baby. I didn't know that they were pregnant again.
She just had a child, like a couple days ago, and Russell Wilson's been playing out of his mind for a while. Like, so, like, I'm just saying that there's that thing. There's the unwritten thing about it was a rumor about Kyler Murray and how like his production tails off right around the time Call of Duty comes out.
Call of Duty comes out.
Yes, I believe that one. I don't know if I believe in the baby bump. I don't know. I don't believe in the. I believe in the Call of Duty though.
But yeah, like Russell Wilson is playing out of his mind. And I think that the Broncos can very easily beat the Lions. As far as the Lions go, they're injured, obviously, on their offensive line. Probably need to invest in some more offensive linemen instead of wide receivers. Keep Jamison Williams as far away from a betting app as possible, and they'll be all right. And they need to upgrade. If any contender needs to upgrade their quarterback, it's the Lions, bro. Like, I like Jared Goff, but like, this is probably a preview of our segment, but he's not him, bro. Like, I know Sam Howell is happy because this is like the first episode. I haven't said Sam Howell isn't him. I'm still using that energy on Jared Goff. Jared Goff, you are not him. Like,
Goff is better than Howell, though.
He's better than Howell, but he's not the franchise quarterback that the Lions need. He's the playoff. He's the person. He'll get you to the first or second round, and then the roller coaster ride is going down. It's over after that.
It's like him and Gino.
Yeah, like it's
like
over.
they're a Spider-Man GIF with the mobile version and then the non-mobile version.
Yeah, like it's over. It's over after that. Like it is. Like it just isn't there. Like it's not him. So I think the Lions will probably be able to pull this out, but I wouldn't be surprised if Russell Wilson and Sean Payton have another laugh at somebody's expense.
All right. So this is this will end up being our last segment of the day, but this is our favorite. So Matt, you said you've watched the show before, but I'll remind you. So it's he's not him, she's not her. Okay. And it's just somebody that is not him or her. So we each give two. So I'll go first. So I already we previewed ours. If you don't have any, that's okay. No pressure. If you just have one, that's cool. So he's not him is Al Michaels. And I know it's probably like company man shouldn't say that, but like talking about the greatest pick six that's like happened in the year or whatever, crazy. One-handed, he goes, oh, and that's a pick, and he's going to run it back for a touchdown. I understand that it was 63-21, bro, but like put a little energy into it. I love Al Michaels is an absolute legend of the game. Legend, but like there was some fun moments last night, and there was no fun in his voice. So I get it. Might be annoying to call a game like that, but there was some cool moments, and could have been some really cool calls, but there really wasn't anything fun out of that. It was a little bit more monotone than I would have wanted it to be. And my she's not her is a more she's not it, and it's more that I can't believe that this hasn't happened earlier. So last night, I don't know if you know, but it was the first time there was an all African American officiating crew.
Oh yeah,
and there was also 3 women on the crew. So I'm like, she's not her for the NFL for not like what? How has this not never happened before? Even just having 3 women on the officiating crew is so cool. And I love that they are propping that up and starting to do stuff like that. Because it's awesome.
It's
and I do a lot of like all women female broadcasts and stuff. And it's really cool. And it's very fun to do stuff like that. And having women involved in sports is important because you get a different take, brings a different energy. And I think new energies and good vibes all around. Kylan, you go.
All right, so my he's not him. I'm going to disappoint some Commanders fans. It's not any of your people. I'm going to Colorado. Deion Sanders, Black America's team. Deion Sanders. I don't understand. This is no disrespect to him. He brought a lot of money to Colorado, but I don't understand how you can be 4-8 and win a Sports Illustrated Sports Person of the Year award. Like unless you're saying, good job, you brought life to Colorado football. That's great. But he was doing a lot of talking, and I know that's Deion. He was that way before we were born. He's going to be that way while he's on earth. I totally understand that. But he did a lot for that school, and he'll do a lot more for it as long as he's there. But all that talking he was doing, all that tweeting, all that, we're 5-6 dogs away. Dog, you're more like 10 to 11 dogs away. You're 4-8, man. I want a good Deion is good for football, right? I had a friend that covered him when he was at Jackson State. Shout out David Elstein. You know, that is the man. He's going to do well in Colorado. I fully expect that. But if I was giving Deion some advice, my advice would be just move, you know, do like the Lil Wayne line, man. Real G's move in silence like lasagna, bro. Like
He came out of the gate talking cash.
Yeah,
that's
like,
the problem.
Yeah, get your like I know, like, because some people are gonna be like, Colin, you've been hating on him all season. No, I've been trying to give y'all the truth all season. I told y'all that it would start out looking good. They beat TCU.
Well, it's easy to start out looking good when you play your cupcake games, and then you start playing games in your division. And
it was always going to go downhill once they saw USC, once they saw Oregon. Once they saw Washington. Like, it was always going to go this way. But he's not him for right now. Deion Sanders, she's not her. Shout out to the Indiana Fever for somehow being able to be able to draft Caitlin Clark, and also already having Aaliyah Boston. So that's going to be the duo of the future right there. But she's not her / they're not her to every other team that didn't win that lottery, because Caitlin Clark is going to be a menace for a long time in the WNBA. So if you don't have her on your team, it's gonna be some bad days for you on the court, man. Y'all thought what Sabrina Ionescu has, it's about to be on $1 billion for when Caitlin Clark comes in. And next year, when UConn's finest comes in too next year. So, like, you already know it's about to be on $1 billion for the WNBA.
It's going to be crazy.
Players coming up.
All right, I know, Matt, you got to run. Do you have a he's not him or she's not her before you run?
Yeah, not him. The Vikings quarterback last week who threw Justin Jefferson that medicine ball. He was not him on that. I mean, that was the one thing you could. I don't care if we lose, $1 million to 0. Just don't get Justin Jefferson hurt the first
game back.
So many people's fantasy team was messed up off of that.
Everybody was so
fantasy
excited.
Playoffs. Yeah.
I have to say though, speaking of that, I don't know if you guys saw the story that on his way to the hospital, he was watching the game they precautionarily sent him to the hospital, and he said he was watching the game on his phone. And then in the ER, he was like screaming out loud, watching the game on his phone. He said all the other patients there were like, what the hell is this guy screaming about? And not knowing it was Justin Jefferson. Well, I know, Matt, you got to run.
It's been great.
Thank you so much for
time. Yeah.
No, of course. Thank you. Welcome back on anytime. This was the episode 4 of Sports Hour with Miller and Watson. This is awesome with our special guest, Matt Rogers. And Matt, plug your podcast real quick.
It's Honorable Mention Podcast. You can follow me over on Threads more often. It's Honorable Mention _podcast. The same handle, of course, over on Instagram. It's Politidope is my personal. It's POLITIDOPE. So that's kind of like the brand, the handle. You can follow me universally over there on that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channels, and definitely follow us in the description box and link below. Once again, thank you, Matt. As always, we'll definitely get together and do this again. Morgan,
yes, super fun.
Yes, maybe. Well, hopefully next week we'll get it together too. Trying to do this more weekly before the year's out.
Yes.
So definitely check us out. So have a good one, everybody.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
See ya.